What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just headed down to downtown Oklahoma City and we decided we'd have an Instagrammers meetup and met up with a few dudes from Instagram that I've never met before, and we went around shooting, and man, it was a good time. We're not quite finished yet though. I've got a lot of good b-roll from it and some stuff to show you, and man, it's fun, you guys. If you've never met up with some Instagrammers, you'd ought to try it sometime. But yeah, we're not completely finished yet. My friend Jeremy and I are gonna head to a different location and try to move into some nighttime shoots if we get a chance here in a bit. And yeah, it ought to be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's also cool. Jeremy's gotten into film photography a bit. So, sorry, there's a train coming. Yeah, my buddy Jeremy's gotten into film photography a bit. So he picked up a Minolta 7000, been shooting some film, and I brought the Yashica Mat 120 and been shooting a lot of that. So I'll throw some pictures in here of what we got. I shot some Cinestill 50D and some Ektar 100, and this train's coming by, so you're not gonna be able to hear me for a minute. So my buddy Jeremy and I are setting up, getting ready to do some night photography. It's gonna be awesome. So what's up, guys? It's a couple days later, as you can probably tell from the facial hair. But we're back at the house here, and I wanted to film a little bit of dialogue about the Instagram meet and how awesome it was and everything like that. So what's cool is we met, Jeremy I've known since high school, so we've had a pretty long relationship. So we met, we were both in band bass players, so we kind of bonded over that originally, and it's pretty cool that we both kind of come to photography in our adulthood. It's even more cool since the first time we went out, he's become interested in film, and got the younger brother of my X700 here and a Minolta 7000, and I can't wait to see what his film shots come out like for his first couple rolls, and it's going to be pretty cool. So that was a pretty cool thing, just in general, just having get the chance to introduce someone else to film and get them excited about it as well. And he's a great photographer, so I can't wait to see what he's doing with it. The other three guys that we met out there. We'd never met before, just discussed meeting on Instagram, met up, and away we went. So that was pretty awesome. Steven's the guy who kind of put all this together, and he has a creative mind like no one else. I learned a lot just watching him work. He's really awesome with the, I guess you'd say the talent, the model. He was really good with guiding Tom on how to portray the image he wanted to portray. I love the way he sees scenes. He doesn't look purely at leading lines and rule of thirds and just, you know, all the kind of typical stuff. I mean, he does notice that and accounts for them, but he sees photos in terms of mood and emotion, I think. It's really cool watching the way he puts together a composition and listening to his passion about it and the way that he describes his scenes and the way he uses feeling to get his photo the way he wants it to go. And if you look at his Instagram, which I want to remind you guys, I'm going to put links to all these guys' Instagrams in the links in the comments below, in the description rather. Man, can't put sentences together. So check out the description. Make sure you check all these dudes out because, like I said, Steven's his compositions are really unique. His editing style is awesome. He's a true artist. That's kind of the best way to describe him. His dad, Cliff, came along as well, and I really like shooting with him. He's got kind of a way he looks at textures, lines, contrasts, all these kind of almost primal photography type things. He does a lot of juxtaposition and just really interesting shots. So be sure to check him out on Instagram as well. I really enjoyed shooting with him, learned some different things from him, watching how he worked as well. But yeah, it's really cool just getting with all these photographers, how much you can learn just from observing and talking to them. And then back to Jeremy, he's kind of between Cliff and I in the way that he composes an image. So it's really awesome sometimes because he and I'll go out and shoot. We'll see the same subject, take the same a picture of the same subject, and when we get back and compare later when he's posting them and I'm posting them, completely different images. And I love that about going out and shooting with a friend because, like, well, I didn't even see that scene in anything near the way that he did. So it comes out really awesome when you get to kind of compare your photos with a friend who shot the same subject at the same time as you, and it looks completely different. It's just really cool. And then lastly, Tom came down from Tulsa, I believe, and he did a lot of portrait work with Steven and let us do some photos as well, which was awesome. I've never got to work with someone who's done modeling and is actually comfortable and skillful in front of the camera in a professional way, I guess you would say. And it was awesome to work with him because we'd kind of point out a scene and he almost had a photographer's mindset sometimes. He would just go set everything up and already have a composition arranged sometimes. So it's really awesome working with a talent that already understands everything and has a good inventory of knowledge in the subject. So I learned a lot on working with people for portrait work, and posing and everything like that. So that was awesome to have Tom along as well. But again, I wanted to mention the links to their Instagrams are going to be in the description. So be sure to check that out, click on them, go check out the photos they got, and all of that stuff. And the last thing I'd like to mention, it was kind of awesome for me just all around because I had a few other firsts aside from working with the other photographers and Tom. This is the first time that I've ever shot film at night in a serious manner. So I got those Ektar shots at night with the Yashica Mat here. Using a little cable release. It's the first time I've ever used a physical mechanical cable release as well, so that was awesome. I had a lot of fun doing that. I think the photos actually turned out much better than I expected they would. It's also the first time I've shot medium format at night. It's the first time that this was the main camera that I shot stills on for the entire outing as well, which I'm going to certainly be doing that much more often now because I didn't feel handicapped at all. As you've noticed in the video, I maybe only shot a few stills on the A7 that I'm filming with right now. I used it mostly all for video. Left the stills work to the Yashica, and I'm totally pleased with that. I really like that workflow and probably continue to do that. And maybe with the X700 or with the Canon Ed even, just depending on the situation. So that was awesome. And then it was also the first time I've shot FomaPan 400 or any FomaPan film for that matter. I'm kind of in love with it as a black and white film. It's cost effective, it's very inexpensive, which is a huge advantage right away. It's more grainy than normal for medium format film, I think. I don't know if that's a function of how I developed it or just the look, but the grain is incredibly pleasing, and for certain subjects I'm certainly going to lean towards FomaPan 400 again because of that. If you'll check out the photos, I don't know in video if they'll be big enough to see the grain that well, but I certainly love it. It's also the first time I've worked with any Cinestill film, which again, completely in love with. It's not nearly as inexpensive as Foma, but I think it is worth it to have a roll or two around when you're after that look, because there's nothing else out there that looks like Cinestill. And 50D is what I shot on that shoot, and it's awesome. I'm going to certainly be using it a lot more, especially if I'm planning to do more portrait work or people work during early daytime, because the colors came out great. The dynamic range of the film seems great. I didn't have a single shot that I thought the film held me back. I actually have a lot I could give to step up to that film. Yeah, there's just nothing else like it, and I certainly recommend giving it a try. But yeah, it was a night of firsts, a night of learning, a lot of fun. Made a whole day out of it. I think I was gone for like 12 hours with Jeremy and the other guys. So I certainly recommend it, man. If you get conversation started with other photographers and artists in your area on Instagram, and the idea of a meet comes up, take them up on it. It was great. I got tons of good shots, new content. Oh, and also it was the first time I ordered a Merlin 2 on eBay used, which the price was amazing. I can't believe the dude sold it with the case and everything for that price. And hopefully you'll notice it in the footage that it came out. I'm still pretty amateur with it, of course, but I think it worked out well. I'm super happy with that as well. But yeah, anyhow, check the links in the description. Like I said, I'm throwing the Instagram links to all the guys we met with down there. I'll put some links to the film and things that I shot and all of that. So definitely check out the description. And if you've enjoyed this video or any of the other ones, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, come back for some more, because I'm going to be shooting a lot more film, shooting a lot more video. We've got a lot more to go, so keep coming back and checking it out, and I appreciate you guys coming by. If you have any questions, comments, anything, drop them down below. I'll check them out for sure. So yeah, thanks again for coming by. See you next time.